All right, hello Libra. Let's go ahead and get right into your money reading for the month of November 2025. What do we need to know for the sign of Libra as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance? For the month of November 2025, what do we need to know for the sign of Libra? All right, Libra. Things are moving and shaking. Actually, things start happening ahead of schedule for you in November. So you got to get ready. All right, you need to start preparing now. And the reason I say that is because we see that Eight of Wands, and then we've got the Emperor card. And he's in the upright position. All right, so all right, let's go ahead and get started. Libra. So if you're working on something, if you're waiting for something, if things are happening on a timeline, the Eight of Wands is telling me that things are going to happen either right on time or ahead of schedule. Now, we have the Emperor card. This is the card of structure, control. This is also the card of, one of the cards of the Divine Masculine, which means that as it relates to what you're doing all the right things in the right order, in the right way. All right. If you need a confirmation of that concerning your money or your finances, this is it. Now, we also have the Three of Wands, which means you need to put on hold future planning right now because you've got some other things right now, like today, that you need to focus on. And maybe you just don't necessarily focus on the future just yet. All right, because you still got some things to put in order as it relates to present day. Now, we've got the Hierophant, Five of Pentacles, Knight of Cups, all in reverse. In a way, what I'm seeing here, you've got the Money Mindset card, which we like to see that card in the reverse. This is you doing things. Well, the Hierophant typically talks about doing things outside the box. When he shows up in the reverse, again, that means you need to follow the plan. You need to go step by step. Don't go trying to create your own rules here. Kind of goes back to what we said with the Emperor. Remember, structure and control. A very systematic, methodical approach to making money, creating opportunities, building your business is what you need to do because that's what's going to work. So do not try to reinvent the wheel. Do not try to come up with your own unique ideas as it relates to you making money. Remember, somebody has already created the roadmap or given you the playbook. You just need to follow the steps. All right. That's what the Emperor is telling me to tell you. All right, Libra, because you're going to get exactly what you're waiting for if you follow the plan. And if you don't have a plan, trust me, you will get one. You will create one. Someone will help you build one. Now, the other thing we've got is the Knight of Cups here. The Knight of Cups is a card where it talks about somebody over-promising and under-delivering. That's okay. Sometimes, you know, people will show up and they think they're being helpful and typically they're not. Doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong, Libra. It just means that sometimes you're going to have to be very selective with who you listen to. Remember, you're going to come up with a structured plan. That is going to be the plan that works for you. So you get exactly what you've been waiting for financially. And sometimes things or people will show up that will take us off track. Your job is to be focused and disciplined as it relates to you making the money you want to make. All right. So if you're building a business, follow the steps. If you are trying to make more money, create a system so you can save more, so you can have more, so you can invest more. Okay, because structure, order, and control is the winner here. That's going to get you exactly what you want as it relates to money. All right, Libra. So the first week of November is you basically taking control. And then look at that. It gives you stability. The Queen of Cups, oh, you're going to feel a little bit emotionally all over the place. That's all right. That is all right. Then we got the Eight of Cups. That's you walking away with no regrets, no hesitation. Then we've got the Ten of Pentacles, working with the right people. Then we've got the Two of Swords. You made a decision. You're not procrastinating. I love it. All right, Libra, so we already talked about it. As we move into November, you're going to get exactly what you've been waiting for because you're following a system, a structure, or a plan. All right, so that is awesome. Now, we're moving into the second week of November, and things are starting to stabilize. Things are starting to really get grounded as it relates to your money. So some of you may be questioning, like, well, I don't have a plan. I don't know how to create one. I'm telling you, this is where you're going to have to be proactive, right? You're going to have to do the research. You're going to have to ask questions. You may have to step out of your comfort zone, or you may need to align with people who are already doing what you want. All right. It's even easier than ever nowadays because there's a community for everything. There's a community for women entrepreneurs. There's a community for people who like to work with AI. There's a community for people who are investors, beginning investors, whatever. Okay. So find your community and get in there so you can learn exactly what's working for others and what maybe you can apply or adapt to your own life. All right. That's the decision that needs to be made here. Now, for those of you who already know what you're doing and you've already got it figured out, remember, it's about making your system more solid, all right? Making your system more efficient. I mean, could you integrate AI in some areas? I feel like some of you are doing that. There's some things that could be automated in your current plan or your current structure of your finances. Whatever it is, it's about streamlining, getting it dialed in so you can get exactly the results you're looking for, all right? Because that's what I feel is happening for you in November, all right, Libra? You're getting exactly what you want. Now, it doesn't just drop out of the sky, all right? It does take some effort and initiative on your part, but it's happening. All right, so let's see what else is showing up for my lovely Libras as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for, wow, the month of November 2025. What do we need to know for the sign of Libra? Okay. Here we go. We've got a repeater card. Three of Wands here, Three of Wands here. Now, the Three of Wands, remember, that's future planning. We said the first week of November is not a good time to plan for the future. The second half of November, now it's a good time to start evaluating, maybe thinking about some future projections. We also have the Five of Cups. The Five of Cups means there is something that you have to let go of, and it may be something a little emotional because we got the Queen of Cups here. This is something where it's not going to be easy, but it will be financially beneficial. All right? Sometimes the hardest decisions we have to make as individuals as it relates to our money could actually be the most financially beneficial decisions. All right? Not everybody's gonna agree, but remember, Libra, you got to do what you got to do because you've got some financial goals here. All right, next up we do have the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands in the reverse means that there's some changes happening in the physical environment, in your physical space, and they're going to be unexpected or a surprise. Maybe you sell some furniture, maybe you declutter something, and you end up rearranging your entire room or your entire office, whatever. That just means changes are happening in your physical space. We got the King of Pentacles when he's in the reverse. That means now is not the time to invest. All right, hold, wait for more information, or hold until the timing is right. Then we have the Three of Cups. That's changes to some type of an event, plans. That's what I'm getting with that card. So maybe somebody plans a party and they change the date. Maybe you plan travel and you change the date. Maybe there's an event and the time changes. All right, it's something like that where there is a change, either something in the third week of November, or you get the notification like, oh, okay, we're not meeting on Tuesday. We're going to meet on Thursday instead. Something like that. All right. And it is going to be something that is unexpected. But I mean, it's not anything, anything to worry about. All right, Libra. All right, let's see what else shows up for Libra as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for the month of November 2025. All right. So as we close out November, Libra, you're going to be having some difficult conversations as it relates to money, business, work, investing. But it's okay. You know, sometimes those are conversations that need to be had. The other thing, we have the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles means there's a hater hovering around you, Libra, but that's okay because that just makes you shine that much brighter. All right. Somebody's not going to want to give you credit, or they're going to take credit for something you did, but it's okay. Everybody knows it was you. Okay. And the thing is you can still leverage this, you know, someone's jealousy, envy, whatever. You can leverage that to your advantage. All right. You definitely can. So, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Everybody has haters. That means they're doing something right. Next up, we got the Five of Pentacles. This is the money mindset card. Remember, we had that card here. All right. So you may be feeling a little insecure at the end of November as it relates to your finances, but in a way that's kind of healthy because it keeps you like on your toes. It keeps you hungry. It keeps you always ready to do what needs to be done. All right. So that is the card of just kind of wanting more, having more. And maybe you don't know how you're going to make it happen, but you're willing to try. All right. Next up, we do have the Eight of Swords. That's a great card to see in the reverse because that means you're no longer feeling limited or stuck in any way. No, 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 no. You know that there is a lot of potential for you to make the money you want to make, Libra. Remember, in November, you're going to get exactly what you've been waiting for. Okay, in one way or another, it's showing up for you. So when that happens, it triggers something internally as it relates to your confidence. And that is a very powerful position to be in. All right. So don't discount how you see yourself. I guess that's probably the best way to say it. Don't dismiss your accomplishments. Don't dismiss the way that things are showing up for you, because you have more power and control than you give yourself credit for, Libra. All right, you really do. And I want you to embrace it, because by doing so, it just brings more opportunity, money, benefits your way. Finally, we do have that Four of Cups. The Four of Cups means there's something you're going to say no to. All right, so the Four of Cups means something's going to show up. Somebody's going to ask you something, and you're going to have to say no because it's not going to be in alignment with what you're trying to do, what you're trying to build, the results you're trying to create. Now, some people may not be happy that you say no, but that's not your problem, right? You have the goals. You have the desires, and you know exactly what you are trying to build here. So don't be afraid of saying no. As a matter of fact, you're going to have to say no, because it just doesn't resonate. It just doesn't align. All right. So Libra, like I said, November, you're going to be getting exactly what you want. Or I should say, you're going to be getting exactly maybe what you've been waiting for. And the thing is it's going to be as a result of a culmination of things, a lot of things that you're taking control of, and systems that you are building and streamlining and structuring your money. All right, so this is going to be a good month for you, Libra. I hope you're ready for it, because it really is. And I think you're going to be very pleasantly surprised. All right, let's go ahead and close out your reading with an Eternal Crystals Oracle card. Ooh, Kunzite or Kunzite. I think it's pronounced Kunzite. This is card number 22. Children, what? Third eye and heart chakras. All right, so for those of you who do have children, maybe this is a time to spend some time with your children. They could be little or they could be adults, whatever. You know, sometimes children have really good insight, right? And especially when they're young, they are very honest and blunt. So maybe that is something we need to embrace. All right, Libra, hope you enjoyed this reading. Hope it was helpful. Remember, we'll do it all again next month.